going on, Jerome? So we're entering season 3 of the Kwesi Adofo-Mensah experiment. Now, Kwesi, coming from a non-traditional scouting/GM background, Moneyball, R&D, and all that stuff. But frankly, after some fits and some starts, Kwesi has been absolutely cooking, especially this offseason. And even though it seems like a couple times, maybe that 2022 NFL draft, Kwesi's sort of rickrolled us, but sort of is what it is. But long story longer, is Kwesi Adofo-Mensah on the hot seat, right? He's entering year 3 of his 4-year contract, and ownership has already said that Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell will not be receiving extensions before the end of the season. So 2024 is kind of important for Kwesi as his draft class as well as free agent class looks to pan out and be good to go. But people are wondering. All right, so ESPN put together an NFL power ranking, which, the least accurate power ranking in the known universe. But also the NFL Nation writers were asked to name a player, coach, or exec on the hot seat, right? And of course, Kevin Seifert, who is not Carl Gershman, listed Kwesi. Now, he could have listed a player, could have said like Lewis Cine, whatever. But I understand like Kwesi, just a little bit more juicy and salacious. But like we said, Vikings at 23. Whatever. But who's on the hot seat? Kwesi. This is what Seifert wrote. For understandable reasons, Adofo-Mensah embarked on a quarterback transition as he entered the 3rd season of a 4-year contract. But rookie J. McCarthy will miss the 2024 season after undergoing surgery to repair a torn meniscus in his right knee, making Sam Darnold the likely starter. Also, I still want to go down the rabbit hole of the McCarthy injury. Did Kwesi and the Vikings brass know that knee was dinged up from Michigan? Did they know that was it feasible that he would need surgery before he became a regular NFL starter? Who knows? And after he used 7 draft picks in April to maneuver for edge rusher Dallas Turner, Adofo-Mensah has only 3 picks in the 2025 draft to further improve the team. Oh, no. Oh, Lode. A bad season wouldn't necessarily cost Adofo-Mensah his job, but it would inform owners Ziggy and Mark Wilf decision to whether to extend his contract or let him enter his final season 2025. Now, you cannot let a GM enter his final season as a lame duck, just like a head coach. You can't do it. And for the GM, the draft is a draft. You select who you select. But in terms of free agency, the Vikings have a ton of cap space next year to be huge players in free agency. The number, well, besides the money and location and lifestyle, but a major part of the decision for a player going to a team in free agency is what's the stability of the general manager? What is the job security of the guy who is giving me this money? Because if they change GMs, all of a sudden, hey, I may not fit what the new GM wants. New GM generally wants his own head coach. I may not fit the new head coach's scheme. So this could be a wrap. This could be a finito. So you cannot let Kwesi enter next year as a GM, as a lame duck. You can't do it, man. But yeah, a lot of talk around Kwesi is the infamous 2022 draft class where the Vikings trade down from 12 to 32. Did you know that they passed on Kyle Hamilton? But trading in division, dropping that far without getting the Lions' future first, which I don't know. But Lewis Cine is starting to come around. It's great. Booth Jr. got traded. Ed Ingram. Osma's been dinged up, but he's looking like a solid backup now. Evans has always been flirting with the starting lineup. Sazy's gone. Ty Chandler hopefully can break out year 3. Vadarian Lowe got traded. Jalen Naylor, if he can stay healthy, he can be something. Nick Muse is filling in nicely as tight end 3. And then also you got Ryan Wright, who was the best punter in the NFL in 2022. That's it. And then 2023, Jordan Addison just wants to go fast. Mekhi Blackman would have been a starter if he didn't tear his ACL. Jay Ward, Jaquelin Roy, Jaron Hall, hey, and Dwayne McBride. But also you have to factor in Ivan Pace Jr. Ivan the Terrible. Let's go, man. Let's go. And the Vikings have been pretty damn solid in our history with UDFAs. And the 2024 draft class, you got J.J. McCarthy. Yes, he's having the surgery, but also what was the grand plan to have him sit this year anyway? Have a redshirt season? Fully fine with that. But you got the future, your future franchise quarterback, Diamond Dallas Turner, helping replace Danielle Hunter on the edge, really getting after things. I think that, hey, well, you gave up a lot of draft picks to do this. Don't care. Gave up some picks to secure McCarthy and Turner. Kwesi, F them picks. That's right. Of course, Kyrie Jackson, rest in power. And the rest of the draft class, Rouse looks like a solid swing backup tackle in the making. Will Rackard could solve the Vikings' kicking issues. Jurgens, if he stops getting lit up they need to be good. And Levi Drake Rodriguez looks like a force. Also, UDFAs like Bo Richter, Gabe Murphy, etc. Dwight McLaughlin, baby, let's go. Let's go, man. And yeah, the Vikings, as of right meow, like they're a little bit bereft of draft picks, but the Kwesi did hang on to that future first, which is important. And also they're in line for a projected third-round comp pick, and the Vikings could potentially make some trades to recoup some day 3 draft capital, right? But basically, I mean, it comes down to what happens this year. Slinging Sam Darnold is going to be the guy, and the Vikings turn the page from Kirk Cousins, as well as Daniil Hunter, brought in Sam Darnold as a bridge quarterback, drafted J.J. McCarthy, but also, I mean, Kwesi is taking care of a lot of business in-house, extending Justin Jefferson, richest non-quarterback deal in NFL history, and those negotiations went very smoothly. I don't think Kwesi gets enough credit for that. Same thing with Christian Darrisaw. All of a sudden, you have one of the best young left tackles in the game under contract for 6 years. That's huge for the team. And for Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, I think that they are a package deal, even though right now I think it's probably more likely that O'Connell will get an extension, except that's pointless if you're going to fire the GM, and a new GM generally wants his own head coach. But they won the division 2022. They moved. They probably would have won the division last year if Kurt didn't get hurt. But then they moved on from Kurt, who they weren't going to overpay. And ownership has to respect that. And also, they let Daniil go because he was also getting longer in the tooth, and they weren't going to pay. Drafted the quarterback edge of the future. Really turned the page in terms of the competitive rebuild. It's no longer a rebuild. Now it's time to be competitive. And he extended cornerstone pieces like Jefferson and Darrisaw an offseason after extending Hockenson. And frankly, like, Kwesi's gotten a lot better at the whole drafting thing. So you have to take that into account. Also, they got a ton of cap space in 2025, so they can be huge players in free agency. So I'm actually on board with what Kwesi's doing, right? So, first year or two, just trying to find his way, but just like players, just like coaches, I mean, Kwesi's allowed to improve as he gets more experience on the job. And I'm good to go with Kwesi. I love the moves that he's made. Also, they brought in Stephon Gilmore, so going to get after things. I like it, man. So, Kwesi on the hot seat? Nah. But let us know your thoughts, our thoughts, comment section. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.